share this information with anybody who is convinced that Bitcoin mining is bad for the environment. The people who have this viewpoint haven't yet done their research. So let me kick you some game real quick. Exxon Mobil is the second largest public energy company in the world. Okay. I think the number one is Saudi Aramco. Anyways, this company is like, let me see my numbers, $175 billion market cap. So this is not like your neighborhood bakery accepting Bitcoin. All right. This is Exxon Mobil. Exxon, one of the things they do is they drill for oil. And there's a certain type of oil called shale oil, which has a byproduct called methane. Methane is the stuff that the comes out when a cow's poo. It stinks, right? It's a natural gas. You can take this natural gas and burn it for energy. So if you have gas line in your house or something like that, or whatever, like natural gas, that's what it is. When they pull shale out of the ground, this is a byproduct. Now, methane is horrible for the environment. It's what they call greenhouse gas, right? Heats up the environment, right? You got carbon dioxide, but you got methane, which is 80 times worse than CO2. If they're pulling shale out of the ground and the pipelines are full and they can't add any more natural gas into a pipeline to ship it somewhere where it can be used, instead of just letting it off into the atmosphere, they burn the methane on the spot to convert it into CO2 because they don't have nowhere else to go. Like there's the pipeline's full. The natural gas pipelines are full. They burn the methane. Now, when they burn this methane, about 93, 94% of that gas gets burned and converted into CO2. The other 6 or 7% remains as methane goes out into the atmosphere. Now, we're talking about 6 or 7%, but they're second largest energy producer in the world, public energy producer. So that's a whole lot of greenhouse gases going off into the atmosphere. So enter Bitcoin mining. What is Bitcoin mining known for? It takes a lot of energy, right? So what they do is they bring this container, like the thing you see on the back of an 18-wheeler, drop it down wherever the shale is coming out of the ground, and they divert that excess natural gas. Instead of just flaring it off into the air or venting it out, they direct it into a generator, into a motor, and then they combust it, turn it into energy. 99.9% of the methane is then combusted. So that means 0.1% of the methane is now going into the atmosphere instead of 7 or 6 or 7%. And that energy that was wasted that they were burning and getting $0 for, they are now turning into the hardest asset known to man, which is Bitcoin. This is something that literally makes sense for everybody who's involved, because since they were going to waste the energy anyways, the Bitcoin miners, they're getting it for the low. The super low. And for the energy producers, now instead of wasting that precious resource that they dug up, they can capitalize on it. And for the green people out there too, you're making the atmosphere a little bit more clean, because instead of releasing methane, you're releasing just purely CO2. So this is like one of those developments. They've been working on it since January 2021. They've been running a pilot. Also, ConocoPhillips, which is another huge energy company, they've been doing the same thing, and they're looking to expand this internationally, all different places over the world where they have natural gas that they're digging up. I mean, I don't know about you, but to me, this is exciting because the world runs on gas and oil. So if these companies are getting into Bitcoin, that means that there's going to be buyers and sellers of Bitcoin almost everywhere. Now, granted, they're getting the Bitcoin, they're going to be selling it. That's going to be consistent sell pressure on the market. But what it's also going to be is more different places that have liquidity, which is what you need to grow an economy, a Bitcoin economy.